What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video on this Friday morning. The Jets are back on the practice field in the late morning. I will have a recap of training camp today, later in the afternoon, but wanted to come on this morning and talk about two things that happened with the New York Jets yesterday that I didn't cover on the channel yet, so let's talk about it now. The first is that Tarik Cohen retired out of the blue yesterday. Really came as a surprise. I thought he looked good in training camp so far. So the Jets signed Tarik Cohen, who's been out of the NFL for the last couple of years due to injuries. Unfortunately, they began to pile up, and he was trying to make a comeback in the NFL, and the Jets were giving him that opportunity. Now, granted, he wasn't going to play this major role, at least offensively, but I thought he was in competition for that fourth running back spot and absolutely someone who was going to be in the mix with the new kickoff rules. Yes, Xavier Gipson is someone who I think is going to be a big factor as a punt and kick returner and a depth wide receiver, but he's out right now with an injury, and Tarik Cohen was kind of taking the lead as the return guy. So now who is it going to be is a question, and I guess that's good news for two Jets youngsters, and the first is Malachi Corley, because I believe that he's going to get a longer look as a kick and punt returner now with this opportunity, and I think with the ball in his hands, he could be absolutely deadly as a returner. The second part to this is I think this is relatively good news for Izzy Abanikanda, because Tarik Cohen, again, in my opinion, I thought he jumped Izzy Abanikanda on the depth chart, and now maybe Abanikanda has a chance to make this team as a fourth running back. That sounds a little crazy because it was around this time a year ago where he was the Jets' third running back, and he looked pretty good. I think the Panthers' run in the preseason stood out, and then he got banged up, and he struggled to get on the field in the regular season, and once he did, he didn't really stand out, and then the Jets draft two running backs that are very stylistically different than Izzy Abanikanda, so I thought it was going to be an uphill battle for Izzy, and it still very well may be. Like, it's no guarantee that he makes this Jets roster, but I think his chances are better after Cohen kind of steps away. The second thing is the Jets worked out Jarvis Landry yesterday, a 31-year-old wide receiver. Now, in his prime, was a very solid wide receiver in 2014 through 2020. He was one of the better slot receivers in football. The last action we saw him in was in 2022 with the New Orleans Saints. He had 272 receiving yards in 9 games. He did not play in the 2023 season, so he's been removed from football for a year. As I mentioned, this is a slot receiver, and he was a damn good one in the mid-2010s, like really solid wide receiver. Unfortunately, his best years are now 5 years. He's 5 years removed from his productive seasons, which I think is too far gone. And with him being pretty much at his size, an exclusive slot guy, I don't want the Jets to sign him and take reps away from Malachi Corley. I think that's what could potentially end up happening there. And I just don't think that's a wise choice. If Corley was struggling through training camp and Xavier Gipson was hurt and not looking like he's coming back anytime soon, maybe a different story. But we had in the last 2 practices that the Jets had were also Malachi Corley's 2 best practices. He had a 3-touchdown performance on Wednesday. I thought looked good in the Tuesday practice, had an insane catch from Aaron Rodgers. He's been working with the ones a lot more. I just don't think it's necessary. And again, if this was from, I don't know, anywhere between 2015 and 2019, would I be all over the Jets adding a Jarvis Landry type of player? Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not what year we're in anymore. It's 2024. We're all 5 years older than what we were when Jarvis Landry was one of the better wide receivers coming out of the slot. So unfortunately, I don't think this is something that I would advise the Jets to do. Let me know what you think on both topics down below in the comment section. Once again, we will be back later on today breaking down everything that happened at training camp. But for now, that's going to do it. I am Matt O'Leary. Catch you guys next time.